Boom, baby. We are live. We're in 4K. What up? It's me, MLD. How to get over heartbreak, even when it feels impossible. Welcome to Interview with the Man, episode 892. What it do? It's me, MLD. How's everybody doing today? We are rocking and rolling here. We got the remnants of the previous live stream that kind of cooped out on us. But hey, I think we're good to go. We're live. We're in 4K. Thank you to Mr. Bills, Mr. Johnny Bills, Jay Bills, a fellow Jonathan in the house. He has helped me. We're looking good. I think we're lag free. We're working on everything. I think we're good to go. So look, let's just get going in today's episode. Here's what we're going to do in today's episode. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about how my heart was really broken. And I got like, guys, I'm going to talk about something. I don't think I've really talked about this in great depth. But we're going to talk about how I got my heart broken really bad in 2021. And I'm going to open up and be real with everybody first and foremost. I'm going to tell you guys how bad I was. I was in a bad condition. And after that, we're going to talk about what you can do to get out of heart. Oh, well, no, I'm going to talk about, hold on, I have the list here. As you know, I'm a professional. And it's in the description box below. So we're going to talk about how my heart was broken, what happens to you when your heart gets broken from a psychological standpoint and an inner game standpoint, and then how to bounce back and come back stronger. All three things are going to be covered here live in 4K because we're rocking and rolling. I am the most popular man alive. Yes, we're at 2160p, 60 frames a second. 4K. What is up, motherfuckers? Let's go.
Connection established.
Make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. It starts with learning dating, and then you move on to something else to push humanity forward. That is the philosophy of modern life dating.
I am teaching you how to be strong. I am teaching you how to be powerful. So when bad things happen to you, you don't quit.
Okay, because you don't know
how.
Because you don't know.
No, if I'm not going to explain to myself.
In normal conversation where people aren't sitting around and patronizing you because you're loud and obnoxious, and a lot of people don't want to confront you and tell you that. But I'll tell you that right now, young lady. You're very loud and obnoxious and you're rude.
You wanted to blow it up and make me seem like something I'm not, and I didn't appreciate that. But that's okay.
Did
you
you
can
watch my
do
channel?
what you want to do for your content.
Oh boy, somebody's triggered.
And
She's
you can do
triggered.
that. No, Adam
mad
sent me a clip.
You should want a woman that you can build with.
She could build me a sandwich.
But my man,
It's common sense in every other country in the god world, but here you gotta get out a god Venn diagram and be like, hey, don't post half-naked photos of yourself because you're gonna attract predators. Sorry, I'm eating a Butterfinger. But gosh, I can't believe it's already 5 o'clock. Guys, I've been working so hard literally every day. But we're here. And episode 892. thank you all for being here. My lovely friends in the chat. And is this oh, I think we gotta reactivate that. We're got some growing pains over here, boys. Let's see. Chat is indeed broken on the screen. Why doesn't YouTube just build all this stuff into their software? Like, they clearly see everybody in need of it, right? It is not breaking. You're right. Uh-oh. Cooked. Uh-oh. Giga cooked. All right, I guess chat's not going to be on the screen. Let me try one more time because I'm such a perfectionist. Okay, I think we're good. YouTube is an English cigarette. Can we see it? Maybe we could restart. Oh. There we go. Wait. Are we good? We're good. We're in.
Shut up and take my money.
We are in. Homelander, my spirit animal. We're good, boys. We are good. We're down to 2 monitors, even though there's 3 on my desk. I think we're rocking and rolling. Boom, baby. Yep, we're good. We're good. Don't write anything bad in the chat. I'm cooked. Did you see Kamala Harris? Where did that come from? Where does that? Oh, that's a Rumble chat. Lit. Did you see? Oh man, Kamala Harris is cooked, bro. Roof Wrangler. What's? Oh no, you're going through a breakup right now. Oh no. Dang. I'm so sorry to hear it. Okay. All right, guys. I got YouTube running. Rumble is going. X is going. The chat monitoring program is going. I think we got it. I think we're going to be okay, boys. Guys, my computer has been fine all day, and as soon as I start streaming, the devil is after me. It's the devil or the CIA screwing with me. One or the other. Well, maybe the devil is the CIA. A Moreno says we're watching in 4K. Awesome. Now, how are we doing? Is anybody lagging? Is anybody lagging? Let me know. Guys, I got to record this. This screen is having an aneurysm right now. I got to take this to the computer, guys. Look at this. You know what it is? It's the esteemed individuals at the UPS when they delivered my stuff from Japan to America. I'm pretty sure they just like threw it on the back of a donkey, and the donkey swam to America. And I had a really good graphics card before. It's an RTX, like, I don't know, it's like 3080, 3090, something like that. And freaking stream is fantastic. Like our hairlines, thank Istanbul. Thank you, Damian Rochester. Damian, you're such a nice guy. All right, so listen, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about heartbreak and how it's terrible. It sucks. And yeah, I'm just gonna close this one. I feel like I need another monitor, bro. Like I need like a 4th monitor. How can I monitor all the chats on this thing here? Anyways, we'll figure it out. Anyways, guys, apologize for the lack of ultra professionalism. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I'm like you. I'm a real human. And, you know, I'm just trying my best over here to make things work. Hey, listen, it's all about gratitude, right? I am not demonetized. Okay. Thank you, Metroplex, who sent in a 5 great British pound super chat. This one's for you. Get money. How's that? Did that come in cooked? We got to fix the soundboard too, but let me know if that come in okay. God knows. God knows. Metroplex, he says, 5 greatest British pounds. He says, speak the truth
with this one. Much needed topic. Recent breakup was rough, but we're getting through it. Appreciate the wisdom, G. Let's go. Yeah. So we're gonna go. Let's go. Let's do it live. Okay. So first things first, we got to do comment review. I didn't load the comment review thing because I couldn't find it. It was saved in StreamYard. But let's do it. Okay, yesterday we did an episode called Feminized Men Are Failing at Dating. Here's Why. Okay. That actually got a lot of views. I didn't expect it. That was just kind of like an off-the-cuff episode. Anyways, let's go. Okay. All right, that's not it. There we go. There we go. Where am I? Bro, cooked. That's the wrong screen. Hold on. There we go. Let me delete this. Damn it. I'm so giga cooked, boys. I'm so sorry. All right, here we go. Let's delete that. There we go. What's scene 2? Scene 2 is camera 2. All right, let's fire this up. Cooked. There we go. All right. Camera 2 is set up. We're live on camera 2. Way more in-depth view here, and then the share screen is over here. All right, here we go. We figured it out. We figured it out. We figured it out. All we gotta do is figure it out, and we figured it out here. So, okay, we do it live. Perriera says, love you, MLD. Listen, I love you way more than you love me. I guarantee you. I actually hate myself right now for all this stuff getting all screwed up. I'm just laughing to cover the tears and pain in my heart of my incompetence. You guys, you see how flawlessly Fresh and Fit runs? That's because they have people like Bills. Bills is a genius, guys. He really is. And he is 100% the only reason this studio exists. If I didn't go down to Miami and go on the show and link up with Bills, and Bills was kind enough to offer me the chance to upgrade the studio, to actually look like a successful person. And, you know, yeah, thank you so much, Bills. You guys see how flawless Fresh and Fit never has really errors like this, do they? So anyways, we figured it out. We're good to go. So let's do a comment review. This show is good. We had 101 likes. One person disliked it. When 243 views. So Dr. B says, in the Sega Genesis start sound, beta. Beta. We got the new sound. How's the sounds coming through? Did you guys hear the beta nice and clear? Beta. Thank you guys for helping me. This guy says, DT2MXNL. He says, this is a recent trend of victim porn masquerading as red pill takes, which is becoming popular with Gen Z. At first, I thought it was being pushed with the algorithm, but now I think most young men are just broken. Yeah, it's true. It's unfortunate, but true. Thanks, MLD, for calling them out. The more men watch these victim porn grifters, the more men will be broken. So these grifters need to be checked if we don't want society to collapse. Well, I'm sorry to say, but society is going to collapse. We're kind of heading in that direction, but you don't have to collapse. Society can collapse around you, but you do not need to collapse. You can be like Eminem when he says, till I collapse, okay? You until you collapse, then everything's good to go. All right. CA is in the house, and she says, imagine listening to a dating coach who doesn't even seem to enjoy being around women. Cooked. Jason, my friend, that Japan artist, he's in the chat. He says, this was a good episode. I can attest to all this here. My 5-year relationship, despite it becoming toxic towards the tail end, was one of the most meaningful I've ever had. When you find someone good, it really is the best thing ever. It really is. It really is. Okay. Faction Lou says, I'm currently working 60 plus hours a week to save up and move out of the house, as well as investing a little bit into crypto and stocks. I'm turning 25 next week. I've only had one girlfriend, which was back in 2017. Due to much work, I really don't come in contact with a lot of women I'm interested in out of my job. Well, you got to talk, bro. You got to talk to the girls. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Marriage causes divorce. He sent me a 2 Great British Pounds super thanks. Thank you so much. You're the only person that sends me super thanks, I think, bro. I love you. You're the best. Thank you. A debate between MLD and YBC Too Cold would go viral. MLD would cook, bake, and fry this guy. Balls in his court. WMLD, W Epic Debate. MLD is back. MLD is him. MLD pill versus Soy Jack pill. Thank you so much. Aaron is in the chat. He says, I couldn't watch the stream for a few weeks, then catch one, and I'm instantly motivated. Thanks, John. Never give up, buddy. Never give up. Juiceless Beats says, good stuff, man. Keep up the good work. One of my favorite episodes from you is how a loser lives his life. Yeah, it's bad, bro. It's gotta be, can't be cooking, bros. Can't be cooking yourself. You gotta be cooking in life. God's Guidance Charity says, let MLD cook. Data Driven Life says, the moment MLD realized he agrees with 75% of what the kid says. No, not 75%. Definitely not. Ralph says, saying he trauma farms is weird and his confidence is empty. Agreed. Mark Logo 6630 says, is this satire? Chaos Wolf Ninja says, clap, clap. Austin at Yahoo says, calling someone gay and a nerd when you're trying to disagree with them speaks more to you than it does about him. And I replied in true classy fake fashion. I said, why are you being such a gay nerd? So if you guys agree that he's being a gay nerd, go over there and click that like button on my comment. And then he said, reported. I said, beta male confirmed. Then he says, are you mad? You sound upset. We can talk it through if you like. But, you know, these guys never come through. Everybody's just, all these young guys, all these, not even young, bro, these modern men are just like, everybody's just all talk and no walk. But that's not how we rock. That's not how we rock and roll over here. All right. So we're good to go. All right. We, everything's rocking. We got the chat rolling. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. We're live on X. And we got a good amount of people in the chat. And we're going to go. And let's get started, shall we? So we're going to talk about a couple things here. Okay. So we're going to talk about how, you know, just how it's just heartache is a real thing. Okay. It is a tough, real thing that a lot of men are going through. And heartache is a terrible thing. Okay. I have had my heart broken before. Twice, really, that I like really was depressed over it. Right. And you think about unaliving yourself. You think about all these really bad things when you're just kind of in this negative state of mind. Okay. So what I want to talk to you guys about today's going to be a long episode, but it's going to be an episode that's very valuable. All right. So, Pro Special, we see you, buddy. Says, where's my comment? YouTube censoring me again. I posted that girls might like this dude if he didn't have spaghetti hair and a weirdo beard. Probably because you're in Germany, and Germany has kind of brought back that 1940s style of censorship, if you know what I mean. But it's okay. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about my heartbreak, first of all. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. All right, so here we go. Wrong one. All right. This was many moons ago. This was in 2021, in the middle of Q3 of the bull market, right? And, you know, yeah, Christian Martin says it's really hard when you find out she leaves you for someone else and you find out she was lying the whole time. That's exactly what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me. And because I wasn't true to myself, I didn't trust my instincts, and I was kind of trying to do what everybody else told me to do, okay? Living by society's rules, not living by mine, kind of getting bullied by people to a degree, all right? So let's talk about it. So it was like about February in 2021. I was on Bumble doing my thing in Tokyo, slinging dick, having a good time. At this time, I had so many girls on my roster. It was unreal, right? I was making tons of money. I was just
feeling super impervious to anything. I was just like, I am king of the alpha males and everybody should bow down before me. I am better than all of you peasants. I am the impervious game master. And nobody can outsmart me. Nobody can penetrate my armor. I am the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. And you know what happens when you get extremely prideful and extremely hubristic? Look up that word, hubris, Hubris. I believe it's a good Greek word, but it just means that like you are just, you know, extremely prideful, right? Which I was at the time. But as Count Dooku said in Revenge of the Sith, twice the pride, double the fall. And boy, oh boy, did I fall. And I met this girl, right? This was the year right after the modern life dating business had made $1 million. I had made, within the first 2 years of the business starting, I had made over $1 million. At that point, it was like $1,300,000. All right. My cryptocurrency bag was heading to $1 million because it hit $1 million in March of 2021. And I was just feeling invincible, right? So at this time, I met a girl on Bumble. And I had my perfect layup, my perfect situation, okay? I used to live at this place. And actually, you know what? You guys want to I'll show you everything. What was that place called? Oh, yeah, More Than. Okay, let me show you. So I'll show you how I used to run game, all right? And this is how you guys should run game too. It's a very efficient way, okay? So when I was living in Tokyo, right? I'll show you exactly what happened. All right. Okay. So here we go. All right. So when I was living in Japan, there was this place right here called More Than Tapas Lounge, right? Pretty bougie place, you know, pretty fancy. You could go in there, you could sit down. It was very good vibe. Like super gorgeous Japanese girls were there all the time. You know, just like nice food, nice little entrance there. They had a little bakery on the side. They had a More Than bakery, and they also had a More Than Tapas Lounge, right? It was attached to the Knot in Tokyo. That's what it looked like during the daytime. Nighttime, it's really beautiful, good ambiance. And, you know, for two people, some drinks and some, a little small appetizers, it was about, like, it would usually run me like $80 or so. Good food, as you can see, right? And so if you go back and you look at the map too, right? So this is where it was. And then if you go down this road here and then you turn left, right here, this is the former Hot Dude headquarters. This is, remember guys, remember I was in that 19th floor high rise? It was in this building. So every time, this is what I would do, and I'd done this with like literally like dozens of girls by this time, okay? We would have some drinks, and I'd say, hey, do you want to go meet my dog Happy? I'd show them a picture of Happy, and every girl wanted to see it. And they thought we were just going to go to some shithole apartment. And then they come, and they see I'm living in this baller high-rise, and then they're like, yep, I don't need my panties. Let's do this, okay? And I had, like, flawlessly run this game, like, literally on, like, probably, like, 20-plus girls a day, okay? And so I met this girl. Met her off of Bumble, right? So red flag number one. And when I sat down and talked to her, I thought she was really beautiful, right? And so we're, you know, we're having drinks, whatever. I always made sure we sat on the sofa in the, like, the corner area. And, you know, she sat next to me. She was really beautiful girl. Beautiful, soft, white skin, nice big lips, very cute girl, very tiny, maybe like 5'3", 5'2", like 120 pounds, 115 pounds. Great body, nice stomach, great legs, you know, very petite. And so I was there and having a good time. So we're at dinner, and she's like, yeah, you know, she's like, I just downloaded Bumble. I was like, oh, okay, cool. She's like, you're my first match. And I was like, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm the fucking, of course, you know, I'm the man. I am the man. Of course, I'm your first match. God loves you. He sent me into your life to bless you with mind-blowing sex and leadership and guidance, because you are a lost sheep without me, right? She didn't have big tits. She didn't have big tits. It's finding big tits in Tokyo is very rare, okay? So we're having some drinks. I'm like, hey, do you want to come meet my dog? She's like, yeah. So we go back to my place. She sees the 85-inch Sony Bravia TV in the living room. I had glass windows in the living room. Like, you remember, see the glass behind me used to be like a big glass window, right? So they had, I was like, yeah. What up, Dr. B? And so, you know, I'm out there, we're having a good time, and I bring it back to the house. My go-to, anytime you guys want to set the mood for a girl, go to YouTube and type in Mania by The Weeknd. It's a 12-minute video, and I had a system down. And I'll put that on. I would pour us a drink or two, just one drink usually, because that's all it took. Because we both know what we were there for, and we wouldn't ever finish the drinks. And usually by the 8-minute mark, it was going down. Okay, so we're playing. That was Golden Harambe days, exactly. You know, every girl would laugh when they saw the gorilla. Like, do you have a golden gorilla? It was pretty funny, right? And so we start making out and kissing, and she's like, oh, you know, like, I'm on my period. I was like, oh, well, like, you know, I have a really big shower. You just want to go in there? And she was like, okay. So she goes in there. I give her like a couple minutes to go, like, you know, not bleed everywhere. And I go in the shower. We start having sex in the shower. Then we go in the bed and we start having sex in bed. And it was phenomenal. It was so hot. It's a good time, right? I was like 30, it's 2021. I was 35 at the time. She was 27, okay? So anytime you have sex with a girl in her 20s, it's lit. So we're having sex. We're having a good time. And, you know, it was super lit. And then, you know, oh, did somebody send money? Thank you for the $1 for the Spectrum Fund. Thank you, Marriage Causes Divorce, for the $1 Spectrum Fund. Appreciate you guys on Rumble. Thank you guys. Thank you, Jay Bills. Right? So we're having sex. It's really good. And I'm like so happy I met this girl. She's really cool. She's really smart. She was really good at conversation. She was a good listener. She was asking me about myself, right? And so that was like a Thursday night, I think, or something like that. So then she goes home, and then she texts me the next day, hey, what's good, whatever, let's hang out. I was like, yeah, come on. So then she texts me Saturday. She's like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, oh, just chilling, hanging out. What are you up to? She's like, nothing. I was like, what are you doing tomorrow? She's like, I'm just chilling. Are you free? I was like, yeah, I'm free. I was like, why don't you come over? I want to watch a movie and like order some Domino's, right? Because Domino's pizza in Japan is so fucking good, guys. It is like unreal. It's $30 for a pizza, and it's like this big, but it's so good. Okay. There's a type of pizza you get with sliced potatoes on it. It's really, really, really good. And so, you know, she comes over, we're having sex again, and everything's phenomenal. I'm so happy, right? Now, my spider senses were tingling a little bit. I was like, you know, at that point in my life, I was still always had this rule where I was like, just in case, because in Japan, Japanese people in general lie a lot. It's socially acceptable to lie, okay? And so I was like, I should check this girl's phone, because I check every girl's phone if I'm going to get serious with her, because there's, you don't know these days, right? And I know a lot of people say, don't check the phone. I don't care. I check the phone, okay? If that makes me a bad person, okay, I guess I'm a fucking bad guy. But for her, I'd hear all this bullshit online, and I hear all this shit from all these fucking dipshits, like, oh, if you go through a girl's phone, you're a beta, blah, blah, blah. Sure, whatever. Okay, I guess I'm a big fat beta, right? Beta! I didn't check her phone. So the relationship progresses. You know, she starts to open up about things to me. And, you know, she had this group of American girlfriends, because she had grown up in a part of America. So she spoke really good English. And she was like, really just like internationally minded. She wasn't really Japanese, right? And so I didn't go through the phone. Anytime, because there's always going to be conflict in a relationship, right? Anytime that was a fight or something, and it was not like we're screaming or fighting or anything like that. I don't roll like that, okay? But anytime there was like a disagreement or some kind of, thing going on, I would notice she would disappear for a couple days and come back and like question me and ask me certain things. Like, and she would kind of like doubt me. She would kind of like doubt my judgment, doubt my leadership. And she was kind of like, it just felt like somebody was in her head, right? So she actually was, anytime we had a problem, she had this American girl who was fat, depressed, and liked to drink wine at home on herself and complain about her dating life. I'll tell you how I figured that out later. Okay. And she would always be like, no matter what I did, right? Because at this time I was working a lot on healing my inner trauma, healing like my because you guys know I came from a really fucked up home, and I was just working a lot on myself. And hypnotherapy is something that really helped me. Hypnotherapy allows you to calm your mind down, kind of go back into the past, and like kind of heal these moments that traumatize you in life. Okay, we're going to talk about traumatization after this. Okay, and so I had given her some of Ryan Fowler's hypnotherapy stuff, right? That was like, geared to helping people heal their trauma and stuff. Because her father left at a very young age, which is really rare in Japan. Divorce and all that shit is super, super rare. And her mom is like a fucking actual textbook NPD narcissist, right? Not like how people, throw the word narcissist around nowadays, but her mom was pretty narcissistic, very verbally abusive, very toxic, always talking shit to her, right? So I told her like how I had healed my mind and I was going through all this stuff in my past, and she had opened up to me. She had cried in front of me about her past. She had cried about a lot of things that had happened to her. But I'm a very non-judgmental person. If you guys work with me in my coaching, you know that, right? So the American girl would always, no matter what, talk shit about me. Always, right? And she had other girlfriends too, and all the girlfriends were all hoes. And so all they knew how to do was mate switch, right? If there's any trouble in a relationship, they don't sit and work it through. They just go to the next guy, right? I'm pretty sure all those girls are single to this day, okay? I even saw a couple of her girlfriends on Bumble. And, because I always had Bumble open. I'm a dating coach, right? And so I would see these girls and I'd be like, oh, this is, this is a hoe. This is this hoe. I'm like, oh, okay. These hoes are single. Remember, single women keep other women single. So that happened. And I had noticed we started dating in February. And then we went on like a vacation in September. Now, I have a specific rule that I don't like girls snooping through my house. And if a girl likes you, she's gonna snoop, okay? And I caught her going through, I had this like one medicine cabinet in my bathroom, and all these girls had like this civil war between, like a silent civil war between each other. So I was dating her. I was dating this Chinese girl, and I had this other girl in the picture. And all three of these girls would like secretly be like, whose stuff is this? Whose stuff is this? And like they would be throwing their stuff away. And like, and then another girl come up, where's my lip balm? Where's this? Where's this? I'm like, I don't know. Why are you leaving stuff here? Right? But I caught this one snooping. And I said, don't fucking snoop.
And then you got to test these women, guys. You do. Okay. And so right before we went out, we were going to go on a vacation to this island called Okinawa, small island called Ishigaki. I always go to the ANA International Resort in Ishigaki. I'm a diamond member there. And beautiful, beautiful resorts. Beautiful resorts. Beaches in Ishigaki aren't that great. They have a nice waterfall. If you look at my Instagram, Hot Dude Life, if you see me swinging, you know, from a vine into this waterfall of like a freshwater waterfall and like a little, I don't even know what to call it. Like the water was coming down from the little mountain. They made like this little waterfall. I don't want to say pond, right? So I had been there with many girls. So she was just another girl that brought there, right? And but before we went, I had a, you know, my spider senses were tingling. I was like, I have a feeling she's still snooping around. So what I did was I put a piece of like, I put like a gym bag in front of the door in a certain way. And there's no way that gym bag should have moved. So I came back, and because I went out, I came back, she wasn't there. She was out getting her eyelashes done. And I texted her, I was like, hey, did you go through my closet? She was like, no, what do you mean? And then I was like, I knew she was lying right there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask you again. Did you go through my closet? She's like, and then the train came in the background, and she was like, I can't hear you. The train is coming. I'm coming home. I want to talk to you. I was like, okay. Come home. She walks through the front door. She has tears in her eyes, and she's crying, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was like, why did you fucking lie to me? Right? I was like, why did you lie to me? I don't like being lied to, guys. I really fucking hate being lied to. That's like, it's not that you're lying to me, okay? But it's the fact that you think you're fucking smarter than me. You think I'm so dumb that you, some unaccomplished dickhead, can lie to a smart person like me and get away with it. I hate it. So we had go on the vacation, and I'm really salty because I really fucking like this girl, right? So we go on vacation, whatever. Come back. It's fine. So that happens. We go back, and I'm just like, look, I just need some time to like, just some space because, you know, I just don't like the fact that you lied to me. And I was just like, I'm just gonna need some time. Just like, give me like some time, right? So I told her, just like, don't come by my house. Just give me some space, whatever. So she goes home. A couple days later, she text messages me, and she's like, hey, I know you didn't say come by, but I put a letter in your mailbox, and I want to apologize, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, I fucking told you, stay away from me. Now she was pissing me off, right? Because I just felt so betrayed and hurt because I loved her, and she lied to me. And I was just like, damn, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, why are you fucking lying to me, right? So I've been doing whatever, and time goes by, and then a couple like times later, like about 2 weeks later, I hit her up. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm ready to talk to you. And she's like, well, I'll just let you know, I'm like busy right now. I was like, what are you busy right now? I was like, what the fuck? So like my spider senses were going up even higher, right? And so then we don't, like, she is like, she's upset about something. So she comes over and we talk, and I'm just like, I was like, what's going on? And her demeanor completely changed. Like, you know, when you could just feel it, like you could just feel that how they feel about you changed. So it completely changed, right? And so I was like, okay, this is not cool, because I kind of knew where it was going, but I was still like, you know, really in love with her and attached to her. Because like I had like spent a lot of time with this girl. She was like spending the night with me often. She was cooking, she was cleaning, she was massaging me. We were talking about being together in the future. I genuinely loved this girl. I really did, right? So I was like, okay, something's weird. So we came over, we talked a little bit, we had sex, and then she went back home. And then apparently during that time, she had told her mom that we broke up. And then she went back home and her mom's like, oh my God, are you back with him? What the fuck? You're a fucking slut. You're a loser. You're a whore. All this, like, her mom's psycho, dude. Psychopath. Like, I would read these text messages that her mom would say her. And her mom's like, you're not allowed, if you go back with him, you're not allowed to be with the guys, or you're not allowed to be in the family, and you can't see us for 10 years. And then, you know, think about it. The dogs are going to die. And because the dogs die, you're not going to be around because you decided to choose this guy. This bitch was fucking crazy. Psychopath, bro. All right. Sucks. So I was still with the Chinese girl at the time. Amazing girl. Great body, great tits. So hot. And I was like, I'm just going to go out with the Chinese girl, right? I went out with one of the guys that I met through YouTube, guy from the Navy, right? And he was, you know, stationed over there. And, you know, I was with the Chinese girl having a good time. I posted it on Instagram, but I didn't post the Chinese girl because I never post any girl that I'm with because that's just stupid, okay? You gotta protect your girls, guys. Don't be flaunting them on social media. There are weirdos out there. There's predators out there. Okay? And so Sunday comes along and I get this long bullshit text from her. And it's like, I'm sorry, I just can't do this. I've thought about everything. Thank you for teaching me to be a good person. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to block you now. We're finished. I was like, what the fuck? That was like around like first couple weeks of October in 2021, 4 years ago, right around this time, actually. And at first I was like, for that bitch, you know? I'm MLD, king of the alpha males. Subscribe to me on YouTube, ho. And so, what did the mom have against me? Her mom just hated everybody, bro. Guys, by the way, hit the like button. We only got 30 likes, so I need like 5,000. Okay? So, she had blocked me on Hot Dude Life. She had blocked me on Interview with the Man. But she didn't block me on the Modern Life Dating account, which is now banned, right? And so I was like, okay. So I just let it slide. And so as the time progressed, the reality of not having her in my day-to-day life really started getting to me. Because I was like with this girl like almost every day, guys. I genuinely was in love with this girl. I genuinely loved this girl. I loved her a lot, okay? And so about like the 15th or 16th of October, I don't know what happened to me, but like the reality of not having her around literally like hit me like a brick. And I just woke up one morning and I just felt so incredibly sad. Like, and I felt like a very, very deep emotional pain. And it was to the point that I would wake up and I would just start crying. Dead
dead serious, guys. I'm not making this up for YouTube. I'm not trying to sound like a cool guy. I would wake up and like this wave of sadness and shit hit me, and I would cry. And I was crying like almost every day. Okay? And a big shout out to 3 amazing men who helped me get to this. King Dre, Paul from ApexMindset, and Ryan Fowler. If it wasn't for those 3 guys, I don't know if I would have been here, to be honest with you. She had triggered some kind of deep rejection issue inside of me from my childhood about abandonment, because I had been abandoned. Again, that's what happened. She sent me this text and abandoned me. And then I was like, I couldn't control myself, guys. I really couldn't control myself. I was like deeply, deeply depressed. And if you look back on this YouTube channel from like October 2021 to like about the first week of December, there was no streams. I just had to take time off, right? About like the first week of November, I had to go get my stomach checked out because I had something called H. pylori, which is it's like a bacteria in your stomach that causes you to bloat up and causes you to have digestive problems, and like it's just like you're just gassy and your digestive system's all fucked up. And so I remember I had to go to a special doctor, and they had to like put me to sleep and put a camera down my throat and like check me out. And I remember this doctor was just such a fucking piece of shit Japanese guy. I could tell he was racist. He didn't really like me. But he was just like, all right, darky, get on the table. I'll deal with you. And I remember they put me under anesthesia, and then they put the camera down my throat. And I guess the anesthesia they gave me was like the dose for like a really, you know, skinny Japanese guy. And I'm like, you know, at the time I was like, that year too, I was doing some fucking steroids and some fucking testosterone, because steroids are legal in Japan. So I was pretty yoked. And I remember like waking up in the middle of the procedure with this fucking camera down my throat, choking on this fucking camera, waking up like, It was like a fucking horror movie, dude. It was awful. It was so fucking awful. And I remember the nurse just like puts her hand on my face and like is holding me down, and then they crank up the anesthesia and I pass out. And I wake up again. My esophagus is sore. My throat is sore. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm like heartbroken. I'm miserable. I'm depressed, right? And it was just so brutal and terrible. Okay? So I remember before I had gone to the doctor, I had sent her a message on the Modern Life Dating account, and it was because I wasn't blocked there. And that was her too. She was strategically leaving a window open, right? Okay. She had read my message where I was like, hey, I'd like to talk to you, whatever. And then a lot of people were like, just go no contact, just go no contact, just go no contact. And I wanted closure. I wanted to fucking, you know, I wanted the truth about what the fuck was going on. I felt like so betrayed. I was really hurt. I was like, what the fuck? Like, is everything we had a lie? Is like, are you just this big of a piece of shit? Spoiler alert, she was. You know, because she was a very damaged, traumatized woman herself. And that's what hurt people do. Hurt people, right? And so that had happened. And November went by. And that's when I missed the top on the fucking 2021 bull market, because I was just so fucked up and depressed. I did make, you know what, despite that though, I did make $200,000 in the month of November, despite being so fucking depressed, so fucking cooked, so fucking like ruined, you know, just so fucked up. Ruth Wrangler says losing That genuine desire is the worst part. Yeah. Matt W says, this wasn't Miss MLD, was it? Fuck no. Fuck no. Miss MLD is a fucking saint compared to this piece of shit woman. Okay? Miss MLD would never, because she's not a piece of shit person. I tell you guys, to this day, I keep in touch with Miss MLD. I will never say anything bad about that woman. Ever. Never, ever, ever. That woman is one of the best human beings I have ever met in my life. And I fucked it all up because I was just an arrogant, stupid dickhead cheating on her with this bitch. Let's have a moment of silence for my idiocy. So, I was thinking in my heart, like, December 2nd is my birthday. She's gonna reach out. She's gonna reach out. She's gonna reach out. Nothing. But at that time, I was like, you know what? I gotta fucking stop this bullshit. I gotta go. And I gotta go to America. And that's when I did Hot Dude Con. When I went from California to Dallas, Texas, to New Orleans, to Orlando, to Miami, right? I was depressed the whole time I ran that shit, but nobody knew a thing because I have a fucking rock solid poker face. Right? So, I recovered a little bit. I went out with some really fucking hot girls. I remember when this one girl I went out with, she was so fucking hot. I was like, oh my God. I remember I had sex with this chick. She was incredibly beautiful. She had like this tan skin, long black Japanese hair. She was like 23, perfect body, perfect boobs, perfect vagina, great ass, so hot. Oh my God, so hot. Her name is Risa. I'll never forget her. She still follows me to this day on Instagram. So, during this time, I was really depressed, and Miss MLD just knew something was wrong with me, but she was such a good woman. She still stood by me when I was depressed because she genuinely loved me. And, you know, I'm not perfect, guys. I just keep it real. I'm not perfect. Some of you may lose respect for me for telling you the truth, but I'm not going to lie to you. So, you know, I go to America. I run the tour. I come back, right? And the Japanese, they were testing you for C19 when you come back into the country. I had no symptoms, nothing, but for some reason I tested positive. So they took me like a fucking slave, put me on a bus, and forced me to quarantine in a hotel. Right? I was like, fuck, this sucks. They're like, you have to stay here for 7 days. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, this is terrible. There's this Japanese girl on the bus with me, and I knew they were going to put us in individual rooms because the Japanese are like Nazis, bro. Forget it. They have like almost no compassion when they're like following the rules. It's really crazy. It's like fucking sad. Right? So, I'm, you know, I'm still sad, so I'm kind of like just whatever. This girl's cute. She's like the kind of Asian girl that I like really white skin, really big tits. And so I was like, hey, just give me your Line information. Line is like a chat group, a chat app that they use in Japan, like WhatsApp. And I was, you know, quarantined. This Japanese girl's really, really sick. And I remember she was like, we were just messaging. She's like, I'm so sick. I was like, I have some medicine. You want some? And I had some like NyQuil pills and everything. And I gave it to her. I snuck out of my room. I went to her front of her door. I was like, hey, just take this, drink it, take these pills, drink it, go to bed, sleep all day. You'll be better. So she was like really fucked up. The shit was so fucked up. But I was like just so sad and alone, just like trying to find anybody. And so the next day goes by, and she's like, we start messaging. She's like, yeah, I'm feeling better. I was like, yeah. I was like, cool. I was like, you want to come to my room? Like, we could watch a movie or something. I'm so lonely. I'm so sad. And so she really liked me because I like helped her. So she came over. She had a boyfriend. There's a pattern here. And she was complaining about her boyfriend to me, whatever. And she came over in her pajamas, and she was looking so fucking hot. Big titties. Like, she was wearing one of those oversized shirts, but her tits were so big that you could, like, she was wearing no bra under there too. I was like, I know what you want. So she came over to watch the movie. We put on Spider-Man Homecoming, and then I was at Homecoming. And so I hooked up with her. We had sex. I felt good for a little bit, but I think the guilt hit her because then she like didn't want to talk to me anymore after that. And so that happened. And then at this time, it was like I had to spend fucking New Year's in this goddamn quarantine thing by myself. And I was just like, you know, I just want fucking closure on this shit. And I just said, fuck it. You know what I'm going to do? And I just wrote her this long, heartfelt message, right? I'll tell you something funny about King Dre. I said this long, heartfelt message. And you guys have to understand, I was in so much emotional pain that it was like becoming anger. And I just wrote everything out to her. And I sent it to King Dre. And he was like, that is the gayest shit I've ever seen. He's like, that girl's not going to, she's going to laugh at you. She's not going to reply to anything. And I was like, I'll bet you $1,500 she does. And he was like, bet. And so I sent it to her, right, on the Instagram that wasn't blocked. And she fucking opened it. And when she opened it, I remember my stomach sank. And I was like, oh my God. And then she replied back to me, and I was so fucking happy. I was so happy. I had been suffering for what I had felt like the longest. And let me tell you something what I did to get over this. I was paying Paul from ApexMindset $250 an hour because I didn't want to just beg for fucking free consultations. Paul was coaching me, talking me through it, mental health stuff, you know, hypnosis, EMDR, therapy, breakup relief stuff. King Dre was just talking me out of the goodness of his own heart. And I was telling him how, like, you know, how to be a better digital marketer at the time. And, yeah, I'd like, you know, I cried a bunch of times on the phone with King Dre, and King Dre would just be like, just let it out, bro. Just let it out, dog. I love King Dre. He's such a good guy, man. He really is a great guy. And I had cried with Paul on the phone. I had cried with like Ryan Fowler on Zoom. Like that whole 3 months, I was like crying like literally almost fucking every day, if not every other day. It was just like a really, really, really terrible fucking heartache. Okay. So she finally replies to me, and I was like, can we get on Zoom and talk? She was like, fine. So
Shut up and take my money.
She was talking to, hey, we got a donation. Thank you. Dr. B, $10 super chat. He says, every guy takes an L in the game. Look at what happened with Fresh with that Daisy chick. He was dragged in the mud for months. Even Myron took an L back today. Any player who says he doesn't take an L, you know, any player's like, oh, I've never been played. I've never had my heart broken. He sucks with women. He sucks with women. Bottom line. Yeah. Raith helped me too. Raith helped me out a lot too. But Raith was more like, stop crying, you pussy. You know? But when you're in that hell, man, you need help to get out. And so we get back to talking. And then if you take a look at the quarantine streams, like you see back in December 2021, when I was quarantined, I did the quarantine streams. It was like
you could tell the day she contacted me because I was like so happy. I was like jumping on the bed and going crazy and having a good time, you know? And I fucking you know, so happy. And she had agreed to hang out with me and stuff when I got out. And so the day I got out, I was like, you want to come over? And so I remember that. And then she came over and she sat down in front of me and we were talking about everything. And then she started crying and I teared up a bit. And then I remember we had sex on the couch right there. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I was dying to be back with. I was like, I'm so glad to be back with her. Cause I was like, this, and I was so fucked up in the head. I was like, this is all my fault. This is all my fault. This is all my fault. Right. So we get back together and then I was just happy to be back with her. So I immediately went out and bought her like a Louis Vuitton purse. It was like $2,000. And then I bought her a fucking Dior hoodie that was like $500 the next day. And then I bought her like a diamond necklace that was like $500 like a couple days later. I was just like so happy to be back with her. Paul was telling me like, you should probably not do that. Like you got to give her some time to like, you know, you can't be like rewarding bad behavior, quite frankly, is what we were saying. And, you know, that happened. And, you know, it was just, I was in heaven. I was on heaven on earth. Right. So one night we go out to Wolfgang Steakhouse, one of my favorite steakhouses in Tokyo. Like everybody knows me there. All the staff is like cool. They see me bring girl after girl after girl there. Right. And no, I wasn't tricking, bro. Tricking is when you pay to get pussy. I had gotten her back with game and I was like just happy to have her back. And I was like just genuinely giving her love. Right. So we go to have dinner or whatever, and then we come back and we're like, I remember we're at the front door and we made a joke. We made some kind of joke about her being pregnant, right? And I had asked her, like when we were apart, like, did you sleep with anybody? Have sex with anybody? She's like, no, definitely no, right? And so what ended up happening was we were at the front door, and I'll never forget this. And I made a joke about her being pregnant, and she's like, well, she's like, if I'm pregnant, she's like, I'm pretty sure it's yours. And I was like, pretty sure. And my stomach just sank to the floor because I already knew. That was like a slip. That was a Freudian slip. And I was like, it wasn't simping either, bro. Simping is when you don't get what you want, so you have to give money to get it. Okay? I was not simping. I was not tricking. You guys are misinterpreting these values. Okay? So she said pretty sure, and my stomach sank. So we go in the bed, we start having sex, whatever, right? And you know, so we fucking are in the bed. I was just like, I saw her phone. I was like, give me your phone. I was like, you know, let me see who you're texting. And I wasn't looking for anything. What I was doing was finding the American girl that she'd always been fucking texting, right? Because if you want to find the dirt on what a girl's doing, you find the messages between her and her girlfriends and her best friends. That's where you find everything, right? And so there's a feature online where you can export the chat. So this bitch, her name is Reika, fucking whore. I seen her talking to Reika, Japanese American girl from New York, fat ass, and I had exported it quickly and sent it to myself. And so then the girl was like, okay, I'm gonna go home. I'll see you next time. So she went home. When she went home, I started reading everything. From the moment we met, she had been talking to this girl about me. And I was sick to my stomach when I found out the truth. So she had told me that she had just downloaded Bumble, and that I was the first match, and she had, after she went on a date with me, she didn't meet anybody else. Boy, oh boy, am I a fucking retard, okay?
Uh-oh, retard alert!
So, this is the most sickening shit I ever had in my life. So, I was not the first guy. So, she had went out with a guy. So, she had this whole infatuation with French culture. She had been to France, right? She got ran through by a bunch of French guys. She loved the French shit. She loved all that shit, right? And so, she had met some guy that was like American guy, but he was like French American or some shit. This guy was fucking ugly as shit too. This guy was like legitimately ugly. I was like, what the fuck, you know? But she just had this like affinity for France. Well, he was cheating on his girlfriend, and they had gone out a bunch of times, but like, he didn't pull the trigger. And then he just told her like, basically like, oh, I'm not interested, whatever. And then she had went out with a guy before, after she met him, she went out with another guy, some Japanese guy. She had sex with him, and I found out she was basically fucking a new guy every month before she met me, right? And so then at some point, after she met me, she also met some Dutch guy, but she was like just talking shit about the guy. It was so funny. She was like talking shit about the guy and comparing him to me. And she was never talking bad about me. She genuinely was like really all about me. And anytime she wanted to do something good for me or do like extra loving thing that would be like actually the right thing to do to like make the relationship grow, this fucking miserable cunt, Reika, would always be like, don't do that, girl. That's a red flag. Don't do that, girl. And she would like talk her out of being a good woman, right? Talking her out. It was crazy, crazy. So that had happened. And the whole time we were in relationship, she had been keeping other guys around. She had never cheated on me during the relationship. I'll give her that. She never met another guy. She was never, but she would always just be texting all these other guys. And it's because she had daddy issues, right? Her dad never loved her, so she was looking for fucking male love everywhere. And so around June, remember I met her in February. So around June, this guy started hitting her up again, right? And she was really happy, and she was like messaging him, and then she would like be complaining about me to him, to that guy a little bit from time to time. And he would just be like, oh, he's a bad guy. Don't text him back. Don't, like, you know, typical fucking scumbag. And, you know, even when we were on vacation, it was his birthday in September, and she like wished him a happy birthday, right? And so they were texting and shit, and she was planning to monkey branch to him. So when she sent me that message, it was because Reika influenced her, like, you just need to do it, girl. You just need to break up with girl. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. She's like, you could replace him. You could replace him. And it was funny. Like Paul said this. It's like, yeah, just because like crypto and entrepreneur millionaires are just growing on the trees out there, right? I love Paul. Okay. You know, yeah, texting other guys is kind of unfaithful, in my opinion, if you're both together seriously. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's unacceptable. But I didn't check her phone. That's why I'm like, fuck that shit. Check the phone always. Right? I don't care. I don't care what anybody says, bro. In today's day and age, you got to protect yourself. Women are good at lying, and men are not as good at game as they think they are. 'Cause she pulled that shit on me. You know, but I doubted my own frame, because everybody's like, don't check phones. That's beta. That's beta. That's beta. Right? So I find out that whole time, even when I messaged her right before I went to that nightmare doctor's appointment, that fucking, he told her, she showed her that text to the guy, and she's like, what should I do? And he was like, don't reply, don't reply, don't reply. Right. So fast forward to like Christmas time, I was alone. And they went out to some Christmas party together or whatever. Oh, King Dre's in the house. What's up? There's the good man. There's the good man himself. He says, I remember this. King Dre's a good guy. I'm telling you guys, this guy's like, it's a blessing from God to be in my life. He's a good man. He really is. He's a good man. And I remember, so this guy lived with his girlfriend, right? So the girlfriend had gone back to America for some shit to do whatever. And they went out, and then he invited her over to their place, and this was in December, and then he had sex with her. And that was when they had sex, right? And so that all happened, and it was like, as Morpheus says in The Matrix, fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony. So he fucked her, and then he was done with her, and he ghosted her, and he left her ass alone. Her birthday's on Christmas, and he didn't wish her happy birthday. He didn't fucking do any of this shit. He just went back to his girl, and there she is, dead in the dirt. But here comes good old faithful, hitting her up on January 1st, and perfect timing for her, right? She's like, okay, I'll just go with this one. So I had been because it was a long, like multi-month text message history, right? So I've been sitting there from like 10 o'clock to like 3 a.m, like reading this whole fucking thing. And I remember I called her at like 4 o'clock in the morning. She's like, hey, is everything okay? And I just said, like, who's David? And on the other side of the phone, it was like, And so she was like, how do you know? What do you mean? How do you know? Well, how did you figure this out? I was like, you need to fucking come over here as soon as the first train starts moving. She came over, and of course, what does a woman do when she's caught? This chick cried literally 3 hours in a row. I'm not exaggerating. This chick cried 3 hours in a row. And I think she had just reached her breaking point, because then she started trauma dumping everything on me. She told me about how she got caught up in some romance scam, and some guy finessed her and her mom out of $100,000 because she had met some guy on a fucking dating app, some Chinese scammer. And he fucking, he finessed her. He took so much. This is before she met me, but she just let all of her dirty laundry out because she was caught. She's like, just talked about how much a piece of shit she was and all the bad things she'd done in her life and everything, right? And so she had literally like broken down, right? So Dee Dee says, what is the point of even calling her out? Either ghost or keep banging her. Dude, I was fucking heartbroken, man. Like, when you're heartbroken, you are like a broken vehicle, like driving around, like trying to get to 5th gear, but you're just stuck in 1st gear, redlining, everybody's honking horns around you. Move, you motherfucker, just get out of it, but you're just like in this emotional turmoil, okay? And so, that being said, I forgave her.
Beta.
I forgave her. I wanted to make it work. And she, in her defense, she was doing everything in her power to make it right. She was doing everything in her power to make it right. She had given me the social media passwords to everything she had. She gave me access to her Line account that she logged into it on my laptop so I could read every message she sent. She gave me access to her iCloud so I could track her. Okay. And so like the relationship was fine from that point on, but the problem for me was I was like genuinely super, 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 super resentful of her because I was so mad. Okay. And this is why you have to like not rush into a relationship with a girl. I had fallen in love with a girl that didn't fucking exist. She told me she'd only been with like 20 guys. It was closer to 100.
So,
Well,
you have accepted the truth.
weekly night UFC bets. Welcome to the show. I had, you know, what was I saying? The thing fucking threw me off. I was just, oh no, I just fallen in love with something that wasn't real. And I was so, like, genuinely mad and pissed off. I was like, how fucking dare you? You know, because that's the root of like, because I was doing a lot of work with King Dre, with Paul, with Ryan Fowler to like rebuild myself and truly build my confidence to the next level. And I did a lot of hypnotherapy and I cried a lot and I got a lot of shit out. And I became, if you notice on my streams, when I came back from 2021, end of 2021, and then that's when I launched the program Inner Game Healing. You guys remember Inner Game Healing? Well, I launched a program to help guys with their self-esteem and help, you know, get over their traumas and help get over the brokenness and bad things that people feel in their lives. Really, like, because bad shit happens to people and it traumatizes them, right? So we tried to make it work, but I just kept on bringing it up. And I was just very resentful of her. I was just really like, fucking whore. You fucking dirtbag human being. You know, you piece of shit. And, you know, eventually I broke up with her in April of 2023. And I was free. And then she gained like 35 pounds. Victory is mine. There is no falling in love, says Don Coolio. I remember this guy. This guy has been talking shit on my channel for all the years. You still watch me, huh, buddy? I'm sure you've made millions of dollars over this time as well. He says there is no falling in love. Men are the love that women fall in. Same as women can't fuck a man. Man fuck women. You are gay and retarded, sir. Anyways, so that's my heartbreak story. Okay. But during the time that I was getting rid of her in my head, I decided to clean a lot of things out of my life. That's why I quit Rule Zero, because they're too negative, they're too toxic, they're too gossipy. And I was like, you know what? Fuck all these guys. I'm out of here. Right? That's when I realized, you know, Charlie was all doing drugs, all fucked up, alcoholic, you know, screwing people out of money, stealing money from multiple friends that I have. And I was like, you know what? I'm done trying to help this fucking loser. Fuck off. He gained like 900 pounds. Him and Miguel getting fatter as years goes on. Pretty fun, pretty good to watch. And then I went, you know, fucking mega viral when I went to whatever podcast and all that fucking great shit happened to me, right? And so it was really good. It was really good. I'm looking back on that, it made me stronger. And now we're going to talk about part 2. So that was part 1. That was my heartache. You know, and guess what? I am a human being. I'm 100% real. You know what? And I'm not perfect. I'm going to make more mistakes as life goes on. And Anybody who says they haven't gone through heartache or any stuff like this, they're either full of shit, a liar, or a sociopath. Like Don Coolio in the chat. But hey, keep hitting those chats, John Coolio, because you're boosting me up in the algorithm. Thank you for working for me, my unpaid marketing team. And thank you to all the guys who are listening here intentfully. You know, this episode is for Jose Chung 21, but I haven't seen him in the chat. Like, this is literally the one reason I'm doing this episode. So there's that. So I want to talk about something I saw recently. Okay. So recently, Alex Hormozi, his mother died unexpectedly about 2 Fridays ago. Okay. And he put out something that talks about what happens when, you know, when bad stuff happens to you, when a traumatizing event happens to you. And now I want to talk to you about, this is what happens to you when you get heartbroken. Okay. And then after that, we're going to talk about how to recover from the heartbreak. Roof Wrangler, my good friend in the chat, he says, "You're the man." No, sir. You're the man. I'm just a real guy. I'm just real. You know what, everybody, every time I put out an exit strategy or exit poll, or, hey, like, how was this program? Could you just tell me what you think about it? You know what the number one thing people say about me is? They're like, I just like the fact that you're real. They say you're real. There's 2 words they use. They say you're super real, or they say you're super authentic. Okay. And that's, look, like, when people get on the internet and lie, like content creators lie, and we all know who's been lying about whatever. I'm not going to go into fucking exposing anybody because I don't have 9,000 hours to talk about it. Okay. Because all these motherfuckers are lying. When you get on the internet and lie, you're a dumbass. You're a fucking stupid motherfucker. People are going to find out. And then your whole brand is cooked. That's why when I got liposuction, I made a fucking documentary about it. And people are like, oh, you made that, you made that in retrospect to, like, cover up the fact, like, oh, really? How the fuck did I get a goddamn cameraman in the fucking surgery room? How did we interview the doctor with me sitting next to him, my fat ass, I don't really care what anybody has to say or think about me. I am what I am. And we're all going to be dead and gone before we know it. Okay? We're all going to be dead and gone before you know it. So why are you, like, who are you lying to? You got to go through life and lying and pretending you're something you're not. Like, all you're just showing people is that you're just a piece of shit and that you're really insecure. I don't have anything to fucking hide. Okay? So I keep it real because that's what I believe is the right thing to do. Okay? So let's look at this by good old Papa Hormozi. I want to show you guys something. Okay. So this is recently a video he did. I think he talks in the corner there. I'm going to go down here. Make it a little small, but not too small because you got to see me. Okay. So I want you guys to take a look here. All right. And pay attention because this is exactly what happens when you go through a traumatic experience, whether you get extremely sick. But in this context, we're going to talk about heartbreak, okay? And I'm going to show you guys can know what happened here during my heartbreak because the heartbreak started in October of 2021 and ended in the first week of first week of January. For me, it felt like a fucking century, right? But it was brutal, bros. It was so brutal. Holy shit. It was like, that was just the worst I've ever been, man. And you know, it's funny. I told Charlie about it at the time. And then after I kicked him to the curb, he went and talked shit about me to everybody. He's like, oh, he was crying over this girl and he was all fucked up. I was like, just validating the fact that I kicked your fat ass out of my life. Okay. You never hear King Dre getting on the internet talking shit about me. And, Paul doesn't get on the internet and talk shit about me, or Ryan Fowler doesn't get on the internet and talk shit about me. Because those are wise men who understand that life, you go through shit in life. Okay.
So check this video out because this is really, really important for you guys to understand. And this is really if anything bad happens to you. In this context for him, it's his mother dying, but I'm using it in this context for a heartbreak. But it does apply across the board. So listen up.
So given my mom unexpectedly died on Friday, given that backdrop, I've had a good amount of time to reflect on a concept that's been spoken about by many, but rarely defined, which is mental toughness. And before I dive in, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that grieving is bad, or that there's a correct or incorrect way to grieve, or that you need to tough it out, independent of whatever it is that you're going through. And so please do whatever you want. This is not my pulpit. But I wanted to share my thoughts on the topic as it directly applies to my current situation, and likely many of you here are dealing with hardships of your own. So, what is mental toughness? So I define it as the chance a bad thing changes how you act in a way that's against your goals. This means mental toughness is not do you have it or not, but instead how much do you have? So, for example, if you have lots of mental toughness, that would mean a low likelihood of a negative impact on your behavior. So strong mind, weak or zero impact. On the other hand, if you have low mental toughness, then it'd be a high likelihood of a negative impact on your behavior. So weak mind equals strong bad impact. And so now that we have that defined, we need to create an environment in which mental toughness can be exercised and ideally measured. So let me show you a little visual representation of how people act when bad things happen to them. Bad being against your preferences. And so you can follow along with these little numbers that I have here, but this is the basic drawing of the context of how this works. So number one, this is how you normally act. Then a bad thing happens, sad face. This is how much you act out. The distance between these 2 points, when you act out and then you recover, is how long before you restabilize your behavior. How long does it take for you to get back to normal? Then, after that point, you have 2 alternatives. Or technically, I guess you have an infinite, but you can, in a good scenario, behave even better and even more aligned with your goals after that bad thing happens. You can have no change in behavior, so you were impervious to it, you got through, got back on track, or you can permanently behave in a way that's stabilized, but worse. And so if we see that as the baseline model of behavior change, then we can begin to apply our framework of mental toughness to it. And so I'll begin with an obvious observation. I think that people mistakenly believe that mental toughness is only one thing. And looking at this model, I believe that there are 4 separate components that make up mental toughness. I also believe that they exist independently, and only when taken in aggregate can they give us a complete picture of someone's actual mental toughness. And so the 4 components are as follows. Number 1, tolerance. Number 2 is fortitude, and I'll define all of these. Number 3 is resilience. And number 4 is adaptability. This is what they look like, labeled in our fancy model. So we have our original little guy here. So here to here is tolerance. Here to here is fortitude. Here to here is resilience. And here to here is adaptability. Okay, so the first component of mental toughness in my model is tolerance. This is how much hardship, the number of hardships, or how long you can endure hardship before you have a change in behavior. This is before.
So in regarding to like my circumstance of what happened to me, my tolerance was not as strong for heartbreak at the time because I was really, really, really in love. And then that was drastically and instantly taken away from me. And then that caused me to be heartbroken and go down in the dip. And the dip is what he's going to talk about next. So my tolerance at the time was low for heartbreak. So I don't think anybody in life really is super ready for heartbreak when it happens, because it usually happens out of nowhere for people, right? And so when you think about your circumstance, apply these things to you and, you know, just kind of mentally follow along with the explanation.
Before you snap, this is how long your fuse is. How much can you tolerate before you diverge from your normal behavior? And so if you're someone who has a long fuse, aka it takes a lot to rock your boat, you have high tolerance. Now, if you're someone who has a short fuse, anything can set you off, and you demonstrate low tolerance compared to the first example. It doesn't take much to get in your head, to get you off your game. That's the first component. The second component of mental toughness is fortitude. So this is number one, this is number two. So fortitude is the intensity of the behavior change once your tolerance threshold has been surpassed. So think, how low did you go, or how upset did you get? I didn't even mean to rhyme both of those. That worked out well. So when something bad happens, do you take a deep breath, walk outside for 5 minutes and then come back? If so, you have high fortitude. Or do you quit your job, get divorced, and get into hard drugs? If so, you have low tolerance compared to the high fortitude example. The third is resilience. After a change in behavior, so the behavior has changed here, right? After a change in behavior has occurred from a bad thing, how long does it take you to get back to a new baseline, to restabilize?
So in my circumstance, that happened the first week of October. And then when I made the decision to message her on New Year, so it'd been 1, 2, I started recovering, I would say mid-November, because I started going on dates with those really hot girls and I was having sex with some really hot babes. But I wasn't fully over it, but I was starting to recover. But I would say I fully recovered when I reached out to her, because I do remember when I said, that's it. I'm going to reach out to this fucking girl one more time. And if she says no, I'm moving on. That's it. That's why I sent that Hail Mary message, right? So for me, I would say I'll be a little bit more like lenient for the audience, and I'll just say it took me 3 months. It took me 3 months.
Do you bounce back in 5 minutes? If so, you might have high resilience. Or do you bounce back in 5 years? If so, you have low resilience compared to the 5-minute person. As an aside, here's something that I think about a lot. In an instance where you have something terrible to happen, like death of a loved one, does the amount of time it takes you to recover have any bearing on how much you love that person? Said differently, do you need to suffer to prove your love? And if not, would any reasonable person want the person they love, And if not, would any reasonable person want the people they love to suffer? Sure.
And he had done this like right after his mom died, like a couple days. So he was kind of obviously, nobody wants their mom to die.
I actually didn't think it was going to go this way. Anyways, behavior. So just something worth considering. So in other words, maybe you suffer as long as you decide is adequate. And if it's even partially true, then it means that you have some influence over how long you choose to suffer. Tolerance is how long, fortitude is how much, resilience is how long it takes to get back, and then number 4 is adaptability. So how your new baseline compares to your old baseline, this distance here. In other words, are you better for the disruption? Are you permanently worse, or are you the same as you were before? This would be the same, this would be permanently better, this would be permanently worse if we went underneath. So if you stabilize after a bad thing happens at a new higher baseline, then you have high adaptability. You let hard times beat the strength into you, not out of you. If you stabilize to your former baseline, just the same as you were before, after a bad thing happens, you have medium adaptability. You demonstrated that you didn't allow bad things to affect you. And if you stabilize below, it should be here, then the hard thing beat the strength out of you. Note, if the new baseline changes in either direction, positive or negative, then the experience traumatized you. In other words, you have a permanent change of behavior from an aversive, bad stimuli, thing that happened. Now, if that behavior change is positive, then you got better from this traumatic experience. If it's against your long-term goals, then you got worse from it. But both outcomes, however, mean that you were traumatized. Like I said, you had a permanent change of behavior from a bad thing, aka you learned something different going forward. So this means that trauma, as it relates to us as individuals, rather than judging what happened to us, can be a force for good, if we let it. So people who take my words out of context want to make it seem like I justify trauma when it couldn't be further.
So that's basically, the what happens. So you have your tolerance, which is how much does it take to break you? Fortitude is
how low do you go, right? How deeply did it affect you? For me, it affected me pretty bad. Like, you know, I was crying a lot. I had to take a break from streaming. I still made $200,000 in the month of fucking November. And I made like close to, I think I made like $83,000 in October. I was like crying. I was like, ah! Let me check crypto real quick. Ah! Let me check crypto real quick. All right. Let me call King Drake. Oh, everything sucks, dude. You know? So, and then I went on tour and I did the fucking largest tour I ever did, Hot Dude Con. And I still live streamed on my birthday. And I live streamed all through December. And I launched the Masculine Empowerment Network on top of that as well. So that was my fortitude level. The resilience was, it took me about approximately 3 months to really bounce back and get out of that. And the best part, for my friend Don Coolio watching, motherfucker, I adapted and I came back and I'm better than ever. Ain't no woman gonna fucking hold me down. I am the fucking man, okay? And that's what you guys gotta do. Don't let these fucking bitches break you. Do not let them break you down. Do you hear me? Wake up. Don't let them break you down. Use that as a fucking catapult when you go down in that valley to fucking spring shot you back up. Because you come back bigger, you come back better, you come back stronger, you come back richer, you come back more handsome, you come back better than ever. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down, boys. Nobody. Nobody. So for you guys at home that adapted at a lower rate, we gotta do something, guys. We gotta do something. We gotta snap out of it. We gotta come back, okay? We got to ascend to new heights. We gotta level up. We gotta go. We gotta move. We gotta accomplish our goals. We gotta make money. We gotta make investments. We gotta get back in the gym. Okay? We gotta do things, and we gotta get a girl that's better than that girl that left us and broke our hearts. Okay? Don't chase, just replace. Live it up, maximize, use bad things to come back. Look at fucking this past weekend. Alex Perriera. If you guys don't know Alex Perriera, he is the current UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. He lost the belt a couple months ago because he was super sick with the virus. He had broken his left hand and he lost a split decision, or no, I think it was unanimous decision, a 48-47 decision to some fucking nobody guy, right? And Alex was getting humiliated by people. Alex was saying, people were like, oh, he was washed up. He was like just a flash in the pan, not a real champ, right? And if you watch that fight, Alex came out and fucking humiliated that guy. He rushed across the octagon and fucked that guy up. He fucked him up bad. That guy got humiliated, bro. Okay? And he came back bigger, better, and one of his best fucking wins as a fucking UFC contender, right? So you gotta adapt at a higher level. You gotta come out of that shit above, better, and beyond. And the reason I came out of that is because I had good people in my life. I had people like and you know who I didn't shout out that I need to shout out to? His brand isn't that big, but he's a great guy. He has a brand on the internet called Proud Masculine. My friend Joe. Joe is there for me thick and thin as well. Joe is a really, really good guy from Louisiana. He's a fucking great guy. You know, him, King Dre, Paul from ApexMindset, Ryan Fowler from, he used to be called Inner Masculine. He's changed his brand name a million times. I don't know what it is now, right? But if I didn't have those amazing people by my side to lift me up and to fucking get me out of that shit, I don't know. I don't know where I was going to be right now. I really don't know. We can't say, but I probably wouldn't have been as good as I am now, to be honest, right? There's probably just, not even possible. So now, right, let's go to part 3, because some of you guys in the chat right now are, maybe you're going through heartache. Maybe you've kind of adapted at a lower level, okay? And you know what I'm gonna say is like, you can definitely get through it. And you know what you gotta do? You gotta do like Jocko Willink. Jocko Willink has this saying, like one of his subordinates. Jocko Willink's a former Navy SEAL, and he's a big like self-improvement brand. And he said to like these guys, when something bad happens to you, no matter what it is, just say good. You know, your wife divorced you, good. You got fired from work, good. You lost all your fucking money in crypto, good. You lost all your money because somebody scammed you, good. Good. Because it's going to give you an opportunity to get stronger. Like Hormozi said, don't allow this stuff to beat the strength out of you. Allow this stuff to beat the strength into you. Do you hear me? Because what's rule number one of being a man, guys? Rule number one of being a man is almost nobody fucking cares about you. And I'm not trying to say that like a doomer black pill way, okay? But if a girl goes through a breakup, all her single whore friends are like, oh, come here, go suck a million dicks, you'll be better, girl, right? Okay? But they move on, and then they have their little fucking tribe of mediocrity, and they usually don't end up bouncing back correctly, right? But for you as a guy, you're on your own to a degree, okay? But we're going to talk about what I have here. Now I have an 8-step program that I think is the best way to heal your mind and get over heartbreak, okay? So you guys ready to hear it? If you're ready to hear it, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to see a fucking mountain of ones in the chat, okay? Because I want to be able to show you guys how I overcame this. Because since that happened, I had generated millions of dollars. Since that happened, I went fucking massively viral, seen over like 200 million times on YouTube. After that had happened, I had dated so many hot girls. I dumped Miss Best Body Japan 2023. Okay. I had gone out with so many fucking hot girls since then. And the more I work on myself, the more I work on my inner game, the more I work on my network, the more I work on my investments, the more every day I just work myself, the gym. Dude, you guys see the channel. Like, there will be one day when I start looking older, but that day is not today, motherfuckers. That day is not today. You hear me? Excuse me. Screaming at the top of my lungs like a maniac over here. That day is not today. All right. So I see a bunch of ones in the chat, and let's fucking go through it. Coughing and fucking my eyes are watering over here. All right. So I got an 8-point list here that I wrote up that is going to help you get through your breakup. All right. Rule number 1. Immediate action must be taken right now. Roof Wrangler, I'm talking to you. No contact. Zero fucking contact. Nothing. I don't care how petty it seems. You block her on social media. You block, especially if she did you dirty. If you want to have an amicable breakup and it's clean, that's fine. But if this bitch did you dirty, guys, no, doesn't matter. Any breakup there's no contact. But if she did you dirty, you definitely got to block her on social media, block her on Facebook, block her phone number, block, nothing, no contact, zero. Sorry, bitch. You had your shot at the title. You fumbled. Peace out. We're done. Rule number 1. No contact. It's like nothing. Like there's no context where I can convince you to put like a lump of shit in your coffee in the morning and drink it. That's the same way. There is no rationalization here for you to allow this Jezebel back into your life. No contact, blocked everywhere. Okay. Rule number 1. Rule number 2. Throw away all items that remind you of her. If she bought you a nice rug, burn it.
If she bought you some nice clothes, give it to a homeless person who will probably shit all over it, okay? If she bought you a nice glass, throw it in the garbage, okay? If she bought you a PlayStation 5, maybe keep that because that's more valuable than her, okay? Maybe don't throw away the PlayStation 5. But if you're really heartbroken, sledgehammer that shit, okay? But throw away all things that remind you of her. Delete all photos of her. Throw all photo albums away if you have photo albums. Burn it, okay? Nothing. If she got you a car, drive it into a fucking river, right? Nothing. Zero. Okay? Number 3. This is a big one. No social media stalking. No social media stalking. No asking friends of friends how she's doing. She's dead as far as you know. She's dead. Okay? One of the best thing is, you ever watch that movie Happy Gilmore when his girlfriend breaks up with him in the beginning and his grandma asks him about how's his girlfriend? He's like, how's that lovely girlfriend of yours? He's like, oh, she drove her car off a cliff. She's dead. Oh, that's terrible. You got to be the same way. She just like straight up Doctor Strange drove her car off of a cliff. It boom, 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 shattered into a bunch of pieces. It fucking fell into a river and she died on impact and then she drowned to death as well. Okay. She's dead. It's over. Dunzo.
She belongs to the streets.
Okay. That is so important. Till the night closes it. Have you seen Happy Gilmore 2? It's so good. Not as good as the original, but pretty fucking good. All right. Number 4. This is really important. This one's super important. Okay. You got to hack your biology. You got to start flooding your brain and system with good feeling endorphins and hormones. Okay. So you must go to the gym and lift weights. You must bury your trauma in the gym, okay? Go and lift weights. It is scientifically proven now that going to the gym is more helpful for depression than all these prescription medicines they're having out there. The study just literally came out, okay? Fact check me, AI me, ChatGPT me, Grok me, whatever. Okay? Go to the gym. Number 2, okay? As soon as you wake up, go out and get sunlight on your skin. We're all men here. Take your fucking shirt off and walk around. I walk around my neighborhood with my shirt off and a Glock tucked in my back pocket. Okay. If somebody says something about it, they don't, because I have a Glock visible. But go outside. All right. Get sunlight. Sunlight in your eyes. Don't wear sunglasses. Don't stare at the sun, but get sunlight in your eyes. Get sunlight on your skin. 15 minutes a day. Really, 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 really important. Okay. Bruno says, gear up. Let's go. Okay. Number three on that list here is part of the self-care. Get enough sleep. Don't stay up late at night feeling sad, talking about her, thinking about her, telling your best friends about her. Okay. Go get some sleep. Make sure you're getting a good 8 hours a night. All right. Go and take care of yourself. Sleep properly. Okay. And then number 4 on this final component here, home cooking daily. Don't go out, eat all this processed food that's going to make you fat, ugly, depressed, and give you cancer in a couple years. Okay. Cook food at home. Get some good old fashioned food. Just rice, cook some rice at home. Right? None of that Uncle Ben's shit. Like get some actual good organic rice if you can afford it. Regular rice is fine too. Make some rice, make some chicken, make some broccoli, have a little bit of a salad, drink a lot of water. If you do those things, you're going to biologically program yourself to feel way, 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 way better. Okay? Way better. Yeah, it's open carry in Florida now. Yep, September 25th. Open carry. Okay? So get out there, get in the gym, get the sunlight, make sure you're sleeping proper every night, at least 7 to 8 hours. Okay. Rest up. You got to heal your mind. You got to heal your body
and things will be good. Okay. Number 5, surround yourself with good friends. Surround yourself with good friends. If you want to talk about the relationship where you went wrong or some shit like that, that's okay. But stay active. Go out there, live life. Look for reasons to be happy. If you like playing video games, go buy your favorite video game. I just bought myself a video game lately. Metal Gear Solid 3, Delta Snake Eater. I've already beaten it. I'm playing it again. I was supposed to get this goddamn Karotan frog before I killed the Firefly. And I was so excited to go kill him that I forgot to get the damn Karotan frog because I wanted to get the stealth camo. And now I have to play the fucking game all over again. Those are the kind of problems that are better than whining about some fucking woman. All right? But friends, stay active. Active activities. Go to the beach. Jump in the water. Go for a hike. Okay? If you believe in God, pray to God. Become grateful. Say, thank you, God, that I'm alive. If you don't believe in God, just thank the universe. Say, thank you, universe. Thank you, God, that I'm alive. Thank you that I can live today. Thank you, God, that I'm healthy. Thank you, God, that I can walk. Thank you that I have money in my bank account. Thank you that I'm not stricken down with some disease. Thank you that I have a family. Thank you that my brain is fully optional. Thank you, God, that I'm not part of the LGBTQ plus whatever, feeling like you got to chop your wiener off or chop some skin off from your arms and make a wiener or whatever. Just thank God you're a normal, healthy, happy person. You may not be happy, but you will be happy in the future. Okay? You got to understand. You have to do these things. There's no negotiation. Gratitude. Okay? Number 6 is no crying, no whining. Okay? When I say cry, I don't mean physically cry. If you need to physically cry and let it out, do it so you don't fucking shoot up a school in 5 years and write a fucking manifesto. Okay? Right? Just fucking let it out in a healthy way. Go cry. One of the best stress relieving activities you can do is put on 2 punching gloves and go to town on the heavy bag. Rip that fucking bag apart. I guarantee you, you will get tired and you'll be fucking tired, so tired that you won't be sad anymore. And then you'll feel good because you let the stress out. Anytime I'm stressed out, I go in my garage and I beat my fucking heavy bag like it owes me money. Okay? Beat the fuck out of that bag. All right? Stop whining. None of the pussy crying. None of the, oh, I feel sorry for me. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Good. Yes, it sucks. If you need to cry to let it out, cry to let it out. But we're not going to sit here and whine like a fucking bunch of little wussies. All right? Number 7, extremely important. Extremely important. Okay, number 7, no drugs, no alcohol. No drugs, no alcohol. No drugs, no alcohol. No drugs, no alcohol. Do you understand me, motherfuckers? No drugs, no alcohol. Don't do it. Don't allow yourself to do it. All right? Don't do it. MLD, is that what you call it? Heavy bag? Yeah, I have a heavy bag. It's called a heavy bag. Actually have like 100-pound banana bag in my but people don't know what a banana bag is. But I have a 100-pound banana bag for kickboxing in my garage. Okay? But no drugs, no alcohol. It's not okay. All right? There goes the fun part of dealing with the breakup, says Bruno. Chill, bro. Chill. You have Bitcoin. Chill. You'll be all right. Okay? And then number 8. This is really important. Okay? Number 8. Number 8 is, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to get a journal. And I just want you to write everything out. If you're just like, I fucking hate this bitch and I hope she gets fucking hit by a truck and vaporized, okay, whatever. Every angry thought, every negative feeling, every pain you feel, everything you like, oh, I'm so stupid. I should have seen this fucking coming. Don't talk shit to yourself. It's not a good idea, right? But what you do, journal it all out and write it out. Put a date at the top and write it all out. Just write it out. I fucking hate this. This is bullshit. Fucking sucks. Let it all out. Write it and let it all out. Just let it, everything. Don't leave anything behind. Literally, just dump it all out onto the fucking paper. Dump it all out. Okay? It is not okay to keep that shit inside. All right? It is not okay to keep it out. And hide that journal. Don't let anybody find it, because if you do, it's going to be bad news, okay? Hide your journal, okay? But what I want you to do is journal it, because what you'll do is you'll start, I've noticed this too when I write in my journal. If I'm going through a hard time, I'll just start cursing at shit, and I fucking hate this. This is bullshit. I fucking hate that this situation happened. Why the fuck? I hate this idiot. Gave me bad advice. This one, right? Excuse me. Write it all out. Write it all out. Write it all out. And what you'll notice is this, is that you will start to realize, you'll start finding hope in yourself. You'll be like, I'm going to get over this. You'll start noticing. You'll just start turning, once you dump all of the negative out, you'll notice you'll start turning positive. You'll be like, I'm going to get better. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to fucking come out of this. I'm going to level up. I'm going to get a hotter girlfriend. I'm going to get a hotter, younger, tighter, less body count, super hot, amazing girlfriend. And you just write it out, write it out, write it out. And that, my friends, is how you get over a heartbreak. All right? That's how you do it. So read one more time. No contact, none at all. Number 2, throw away all items that remind you of her. Number 3, really important, no social media stalking, no situation. Is it okay? Whatever. I don't care if her grandmother died. Fuck it. Go there and push the goddamn casket over. I don't care. But don't fucking, no. Okay, no. Don't social media stalk, nothing. All right? Number 4, maximize your health. Gym for good feelings, good endorphins. Sunlight. It's first 15 minutes. As soon as you wake up, get 15 minutes of sunlight. Take your shirt off, go out in some shorts if you have a backyard. Go out in your underwear, whatever. Get some sunlight. You should get sunlight every day, actually. As soon as you wake up, it helps you sleep at night. Number 3 on that part, sleep 7 to 8 hours minimum. If you can sleep more, sleep more. It's good for you. Home cooking, no processed food, no McDonald's, no trash, no Chipotle, no fucking nothing. Make it a point to stay at home, eat healthy food, or go to like organic health food restaurants if you have to. Okay? Anything but eating that cancer. Number 5, surround yourself with good friends and stay active. All right? Number 6, no crying, like whining. No crybaby whining, okay? If you have to physically cry, let it out. You'll get to the point where you'll get it out, okay? But let it out, okay? No crying, no whining, no feeling sorry for yourself, okay? Number 7, no drugs, no booze, not okay. Signed, sealed, delivered. No. And number 8, extremely important. Don't neglect number 8. Number 8, okay? Number 8, journal it all out. Journal it all out. Let all your bad feelings out. Let it all out. Let it all out. Let it all out. And then you'll notice once you start letting it all out, positivity will start to come. Positivity will start to flow. You'll start to say, I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to level up. I'm going to be hotter. I'm going to be richer. I'm going to have like 9,000 new hot girlfriends. They're all going to fucking worship the ground I walk on. They will put their virgin hair on the floor. I will never walk on the floor again. It'll just be virgin hair in front of me as I am the king of the world, okay? That's what you need to do. But you don't ever concede to defeat. You don't let the fucking L get your ass. You don't let it, all right? So, I said all that to say this. If you're going through heartache, if you're going through a hard time, or you feel like you bounced back poorly, and you feel like, damn, I went through a heartbreak, and I really fucking bounced back poorly, let me show you something right here, okay? This is my monthly coaching program. And I would tell you, if you're going through this hard shit, you do not have to go through it alone. Okay? This is one of the best things I've ever done for myself as well. It's the Money Muscles Game Monthly, okay? Scan that QR code on the screen right there, and within 24 hours, we will get on a call. You and me, we'll talk about it. And we're going to have 2 live monthly Zoom coaching calls on the 2nd and 4th Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. and I will give you a personalized strategy to get more money, more women, and help you bounce back better than ever. Until then,